makes sense to store it in another file. However, then we also have to import all of the bcrypt code. And I like to have everything kind of separate. So keeping all of the bcrypt logic in one file just makes things a little bit easier to manage. But in our auth folder, we can import utils now. And we're going to run the utils.verify. And we're going to pass in the plain password, which is going to be stored in user credentials. So we'll say user credentials.password. And then we pass in the hashed password from the database, which is stored under user. So we'll say user.password. All right. And if they are not equal, so if they do not equal each other, which means they provided us the incorrect password, then we're going to raise another HTTP exception. And this is going to be the same thing. We're going to send a status code of 404. And the detail is going to be the same thing. We're not going to tell them that it was the wrong password. We're just going to say invalid credentials so that it's not easy for them to kind of keep guessing passwords or emails. All right. And then at this point, what we would do is we would create a token, which, we haven't really gone over how to do that. And then we would just return token. But once again, we haven't done that. So I'm just going to return, and we'll just say token. And I'm just going to say example token, right? Because we haven't implemented that logic, but I do want to make sure that the rest of the code looks good. So we'll try that out. And I'm going to go in, create a new request. This will be login user is whatever. And password is whatever. And before I actually do anything, I'm going to run a query on my database because if you see, I've got a couple of users that don't have hashed passwords. So I'm actually going to delete everything just so I can clean up some mess. And I'll just say, and what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to delete everything. I think that's going to just make things simple because I don't even remember these guys' passwords. So it's going to create some issues for us. So we'll just say delete from, and I'll say users, and then I just won't provide any condition. So this should delete everything. We'll run that, and you can see that it looks like it deleted all 12.